Okay, so we had already done example 1 earlier. Just make sure that you have it all written down. And if you don't have it written down and you're watching a YouTube video, you can always pause. But obviously you can't pause if you're watching it live. Okay, so you guys, we were discussing example 2 and then my internet went out. So on example 2, who's with X on the same side? So which two numbers are we going to need to get rid of to get X by itself? So you guys type it in the chat so I can see that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what two numbers do you need to get rid of to get the X by itself? -5 and -6. I agree. Now the hugs we do last. So what should I do first? If the hugs we do last. Yes, the -5. Now, how do I get rid of a -5? So I'm going to write move above that. How do I move a -5? Now you add 5. Now you add 5 to each side of the door. Okay, each side of the equal sign. That's going to be really important in the lesson we do tomorrow. Okay, because in the lesson tomorrow, we're going to have X's. Some X's are going to be on the same side and some X's are going to be on the opposite side, and we have to deal with them differently. Okay, so that's going to be an important line tomorrow. Okay, this is 0, so that's good, right? We got our 0. And then when you bring this down, make sure you bring down the negative. Because I must have written that problem wrong. Because I really don't expect that I would have wanted to have a fraction in this second example. So let me look at my example. It was probably supposed to be -35. So let me check my example. Yeah, it was -35. I was using somebody's a girl's notes. It's supposed to be a -35, and she didn't have the negative on there. She didn't notice it, but she did write down 35 on the right side. So she probably just didn't notice my negative sign. Okay, so that's not really going to be 4 then. Okay, so that -35 was an error. Okay, so I'm going to put it in and let me highlight it so you could know it's there. Okay, but this is really supposed to be a -35. I had a typo from the notes that I was copying this from. Okay. Okay, so -35 plus 5 would be what?
-30.
Okay, -30. So put -30. And then remember, you got to be typing so I know who you are. Okay, I think that was Alex though. So how do I now get rid of the -6? So let's put a box around the X again. So how do I get rid of that -6? So type in what I should do to both sides. And do I divide by -6 or divide by +6? I divide by -6. Okay. And then your answer is X equals, and this is what? Same side, multiplication and division. Same sign is positive. So positive. And then how many 6s make a 30? 6 times blank equals 30. What would you guys say that answer is? Yeah. So there's 6 5s that make 30. Okay, so that would be 30. Okay, make sure you don't write the answers to the side. Make sure you write the answers underneath. Okay. I'll tell you why in an example on the right side in a few minutes. But I want to make sure that we get through these examples before all of a sudden something happens with the internet. Okay, now this one's different. Okay, so this one's different. 30 equals 10 minus 2x. Okay, so you're going to put a box around the x, and then you're like, hey, I'm outside, my mom's inside. That's okay. But I want to be alone. But I want to stay outside. So I'm going to stay where I am. Here's the door. Here's my mom. Here's my sister. Here's my hug. Maybe my brother's hugging me, my little brother. So I don't touch the 30. Who's with me on my side of the door? Who's with me on my side of the door? And I know you're not 100% sure, but just be brave and answer. And even if you're wrong, it's no big deal. If you have an answer and then somebody else takes a little of your answer and fixes it, that's how it works as a class. We're not supposed to be 100% correct every time. So what do you think? So let me say my question again. So my question is, who's on my side of the door? And remember, I'm X, right? X is me. So who's with me on my side of the door? Okay. So take a chance, even if you're wrong. What do you think? I like Kaylee's answer. What do you guys think? It's hard for me to see that that was a -2, but what do you think? Do you feel like those are on the same side of the door as your X? Anyone agree? Anyone agree with Haley or disagree? What do you think? The 30's on the other side of the door, right? And then do you agree that she's calling that a -2? Because of our whole highlighting thing? What do you think? Anyone else have an opinion besides Haley? Guys, we at least need a second. Anyone agree with Haley? Anyone want to adjust Haley's answer? The question was, who's with the X on that side? I need at least one more person to answer. Okay. So I agree with Jorge and Haley. So who should I move first? Should I deal with the 10 or should I deal with the -2 first?
3.
I have to deal with the 10 or the -2 first. And remember, you have to type your answer so that I can see who's answered. So the 10 or the -2, who should I deal with first? What did we write on the other page? Did we say we do hugs first or last? When did we do our hug in example 2? Okay, so hugs are last. So who should we do first, the 10 or the -2? And you guys, you have to be courageous because this looks totally different than our other questions. Okay. So what do you think? So besides Haley and Jorge, can somebody tell me, should I get rid of the 10 first or the -2 first? Should I get rid of the hug or the sister? Yeah, I agree. I agree, Savannah. I think we should get rid of the 10. Can someone different from Savannah, Jorge, and Haley tell me how to get rid of the 10? I'm going to write move by it. But how do I get rid of the 10? Subtract 10. That's correct. Now, when I put the -10 here, I have to be careful where I put the other -10. Okay, don't write down what I'm writing down. I just want to show you a very common error. So don't write this one down. So don't write -10 right there. But I want you to see something. Do you see how the -10 and the -10 are not on each side of the door? They're on the same side of the door. That's never allowed. You're never allowed to put the two things you're putting on the same side of the door. That's why I'm drawing that door down so your brain can really see the door. So where should I really put that -10? The second -10. Yes, I should put the -10 on the 30. Okay, that one's 20. Bring down the equals. 10 plus -10 is 0, so I'm happy with that. And then what else do I bring down? What else do I bring down? So what do I write on the right side of the equal sign? Anyone? Okay, I agree. I agree. I agree. Good. Good, good. Okay, now what do I get rid of? Oh, I need to put a box around my X again so my brain can see the X. So you're focused on the X and you're like, I want to be alone. How do I get myself alone? How do I get rid of that -2? Very common answer would be to add 2, which is not the right answer. Yeah, I divide by -2. So divide by -2 on both sides. Now, it's real important, and I'll show you why in a side message over here to the right in a minute. But it's very important to do what, like 20 divided by -2, you're supposed to write it right underneath. And then this side, you're supposed to write it right underneath. And then you need a new step to switch them to the other side. Okay, so this is an important step, the middle step here. So I'm going to put important step. And I'm going to show you why it's an important step on the right side. Okay, so over here, put future. Okay, so to the right, put future. You're going to have, and the future being like later this week, like tomorrow, I think. In the future, you're going to have problems where the X is on the right and it's a greater than sign or a less than sign. So if you were doing this problem, example 3, and it didn't have an equal sign, it had a less than sign, you would be at where I wrote important step, you would be over here at -10 less than X. And then when you change it for an inequality, you have to flip the sign around. So you have to put that step before so that then a whole new step has you switching the inequality. Now with an equal sign, nothing changes. This is actually called, I'll put it in a little bubble. This is actually called something called the symmetric property. You'll learn about that in geometry. It's an algebra property, but we don't talk about properties too much in Algebra 1 anymore. So it's a property that says that you're allowed to switch sides if there's an equal sign. And if there's an inequality sign, like a less than sign, then you can't just switch sides. You have to switch sides and put a greater than. Like you have to switch the symbol in the middle too. Okay, so it's going to be real important that you don't skip steps and that you keep your steps directly below the next step. Okay, example 4. So these are a little bit more tricky than the ones that you did on homework number 10 that you were just working on. Okay, so example number 4, we have 5 examples total, equals 2x minus 4. So what do you think? First step is putting the box. So you got to find yourself. So let me put the box. Okay, so let's ask our questions again. So our questions are, who's with x? So what's the answer to who's with x? Okay. Second question said, who's further away from x? So I kind of feel like the hug is like attached to you. So the further away, that's true, but I mean further away from the 10 and the -4. So which one is further away, 2 or -4? So the further one is the -4, yeah. Okay, and then how do you, what's the next thing? How do I get rid of that? That's question 3. So how do you get rid of that? So you can ask yourself those questions when you're doing your homework, because I won't be there to ask the questions for you. So how do you remove a -4? That's sitting where it's sitting right now. So I'm gonna put move. Now to remove a hug, you divide, but that's not a hug. So how do I move a term? It's called moving a term. How do I move that term? How do I move that term? Add what? What are we going to add? Okay. No. How do I, and then you're doing 2 steps for me, but let's just do 1 step. How do I just move the -4? Yeah, so you add 4, but then Haley's right? She's right, but what am I going to actually put to the -10? So she's right. I'm definitely putting the 4 over there, but what am I putting to the left side? Yeah, so I'm putting a +4 here on the left side. Yeah, I'm adding 4 to both sides because I need this to be a 0. And then, okay, and then what do I get on the left side? What's a -10 plus 4? Mm-hmm. And then, Dean, I know you're going to have to get ready soon to go, so let's have you answer some questions for me. How do I get my x by itself here? Because I know I'm going to lose you soon. How do I get my x alone? So, Dean, how do I get rid of that hug? Yeah, exactly. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And then remember to keep the side that it's on. That's going to be really important when it's a less than or a greater than. That's what, 3. And then when you're multiplying and dividing, opposite signs is negative. So that's -3. Now, that's an okay answer, but we really want the answer to then switch back to the other side. Okay. And that's called the symmetric property. If it was a less than, you'd have to switch it to a greater than. Or if it was a greater than, you'd have to switch it to a less than. Okay, so we have one more example. Okay, and then we're doing homework number, I don't know what number it is. So I will let you know what number that is. Okay, so we have one more example. Except I need to locate it because the girl's notes whose I'm looking at, she doesn't like to go in order. Her examples are like on different pages. So let me check that. Okay. I wonder what I did in my last example. Let's see. This is what Math Notes 4. Sometimes people would upload 2 pictures, but maybe I just had only 4 examples, but let me check. Math Notes 4. Let's see, instructions. It says examples 1 to 4. Cool. So that is actually the last example. I thought there were 5. So there's only 4. Okay. And then the homework, let me check which homework it is. Homework number, I think it's homework number 12. So let me locate that for you. Let's see if homework number 12 does use homework number 4. It does. Okay. Okay. So is anyone still copying the notes, or did you get it? Did you get all of it? Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to do for the rest of the day.
I need number 5. Can I have number 5?
There is no number 5. 4 is the last one. I was wrong. There's only 4 examples today in this one. So that's it. Okay, so let me tell you what the assignments are going to be. Okay, for the rest of the time, you're going to stay on the Google Meet. Okay, but these are what you're going to do. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you can upload Math Notes 4, right? Okay, then you're going to do homework. It's called M homework, right? So you're going to do M homework 12, which is using Math Notes 4. And you're going to get that because I'm going to upload it. Okay, so I'm going to upload it in just a minute. Okay, and then the other things that we still have to do today is you're going to do math corrections for homework 6. And you're going to do math corrections for homework 10. But this is the order you're going to do them in. Okay, now this one, I'm not done yet. So Miss Nichols needs to fix. So I have to fix your homeworks number 10, okay? I haven't fixed them yet. This one I'm done. Homework 6, I'm done. And then also, what's E stand for? You guys remember what E stands for? There's an E and a T. Close, email, exactly. So you're going to have to do an email check. Now, you get extra credit if you check it between 5 to 6 p.m. You get extra credit. Okay? If you do it any other time, today, you get full credit. Okay, then you get full credit. And then what's T? You guys, what's T? Does anybody remember what T is? Yes, so T is your to-do list. Now you have two choices for your to-do list now. You can either do your to-do list, or we found that other spot on classwork that said, like, look at your work. I don't remember what it's called. Here, can you guys check? What was it called under classwork? See work or something? And this also you want to do from 5 to 6. And you guys, when you do it, you have to take a picture. So anything I ask you to do, except for the Google Meets, you have to take a picture and upload the picture. Okay, so can you guys click classwork and see what it was called? Because my classwork, I don't believe it says it. Oh, maybe it will in my other menu here. Let me try my other menu if you guys aren't answering me. Let's see. In my other menu, no, that's not it. Oh, classwork. Oh, what can I click? Yeah, but you guys, mine looks different than yours. Yeah, mine doesn't look like yours looks. You guys, do you know what it says after classwork? Remember, Haley, you told me? Oh, I could scroll up. You guys, we have what, 186 messages? So it's way up there at the beginning. On the classwork, on the right-hand side, there's 3 lines. And you hit view your work. So under classwork, you could hit view your work. Or you can do the to-do list. Basically, we're looking for missing assignments, and I want you to be looking at it for bridge. So for the to-do list, you'll probably have to hit more, because we want to see your bridge to-do list, right? Okay. So this is why, Isaiah, it's going to seem overwhelming tomorrow when you miss it, because it's going to look like, oh, there's 6 assignments I need to do. Plus, you guys, I think we've already done 4 today. So it's like you're doing 10 assignments, but some of them are just checks. Some of them are the notes that we do, and then some of them are the math homeworks and the corrections. Okay? Okay. Isaiah, it'll over. Okay. But remember, you are making up for 4 hours of time. So when you get back from the beach, plan on multiple hours of work. Okay? Okay. But it's nice because during summer school, regular summer school, if you miss 2 days, then they don't give you credit, because each day in summer school is like a week during the school year, actually like a week and a half. So we're actually, let's see, we're like in October in our class already, the amount of work that you've done. Okay, so I'm going to upload these right now. And then you guys, you can start working on, I'm going to upload homework 12 first, okay, so that you could start on actually the problems. Okay, so let me upload that, and then I'll upload all the rest. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Classwork, reuse post. I am reusing. I'm going to put the math homework number 12 up first. Okay. And that's where you're going to find math homework 12 is where you're going to find the questions that you're going to work on right now that are related to the homework, the math notes number 4 that we just did. Okay. Wednesday by 1. Okay, so that's correct. And then Wednesday, let's put the right date, not like I did on the last one, to stress you guys out. It's really due at 1, but I'm giving you up to 1:30 to upload it before it shows as late. Okay, so I just uploaded that right now. So go to math homework number 12. Okay, I'm going to leave this page on, but if you do go to math homework number 12, you should be able to see the questions. Okay, so there are, let me tell you how many questions. When you click on it, there are 6 questions to do. So that's not too many. So you're going to do 6 questions. Make sure you put your boxes on your X, put your line where the door is. Okay, you're going to do those questions, and then you can upload those and you can start to do your math corrections for 6 and 10. Any questions so far? Can you type in, I understand, if you think you understand? What you're supposed to be doing for the next hour? Okay. 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 And then I'm going to stay here at the computer and you guys are going to stay online. Except I know Dean's going to leave for a little while and then come back because he has to get that on his phone. David's still not here, right? Yeah, David's not. Okay. But I will send him this YouTube video so he can work on this. Okay, and then I am going to get your math notes 4 ready so that you have a spot to upload it. And then the same thing with all those other homeworks, okay? So math notes number 4. Okay. Math notes number 4. Okay. I'll give you the 115 to upload that because I know you guys already took them. Math corrections number 6. I already did that one. Math corrections number 10. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to confuse you by putting math corrections number 10 up yet. I'm going to put that one up later. Okay, and then I'm going to put the E and the T up, but it's better if you do that from 5 to 6 instead of right now. Okay, so I did put homework number 12 up, so that's the one you're supposed to be working on right now. So let me maybe circle it here or highlight it so you know what I'm expecting you to do. So work on this one right now. There's 6 questions. Okay, and then you can keep going down the list. Okay. And if you finished everything and you're waiting for me, like for homework number 10, me fixing it, then just let me know. Okay, Jorge, are you confused or do you understand what you're supposed to be doing? Okay. Alex, how about you? Do you
I
understand?
got it. I got it. I understand.
Okay, you have to type in I understand in my list so I can count to 9 and make sure everyone understands. So can you type that in for me? Isaiah, it's better if you do it later. But Isaiah, you could do it as long as it's the same day. Okay, but it's nicer to check it later because otherwise sometimes you don't realize like I sent you a message. So it's better if you wait. And actually, it's better if you wait. So try to wait. Okay. And then who else are we missing? I think Dean already said he understood. How about, oh, David's not here. And Savannah and Haley, I think you guys are fine. Okay. Okay, so you guys work on that. I will upload these other assignments. Usually I upload these other E's and T's like right at 1 o'clock. And so you might not see them if you log out. You just have to set up your notifications. 13. Yeah, sounds good, Dean. stop recording this for David.